Good evening, everyone. This class, very good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
How are you all?
Fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm also good. Have a look at the part that we have already covered. Layers of atmosphere, composition of gases in atmosphere, and how can we prove that air occupies mass and air exerts pressure? So who performs the activity? Did anyone try?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
I know some network issues there. So Chika, Neha, Dakshin, Chulokya, and Shriyans are there. Fine. Uh, huh. Who is gonna tell me the layers of air in atmosphere? Beginning the topic of Earth. Dakshin. Dakshin.
Ma'am, your voice is low and you're stucking, ma'am.
Dear, I know there is some network issue at my place. Still, I'm trying to be loud and better.
Ma'am, can you repeat the question again?
What are the different layers of air in atmosphere?
Can I?
Please, yes.
Ma'am, the different layers of atmosphere of the Earth are troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere.
Okay. Troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. In which layer does the aircraft fly? I mean, anyone else, not Neha. Nishika, Shriyans, in which layer does the aircraft fly?
Ma'am, aircraft fly in
Stratosphere?
stratosphere.
Stratosphere. You sure stratosphere?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Weather conditions or weather changes takes place in which layer?
Ma'am, troposphere.
Okay. Which is the thickest layer out of among all?
Ma'am, thermosphere.
Thermosphere.
Sphere.
And that's it. Which gas holds the major part in the atmosphere?
Ma'am, nitrogen. Ma'am,
Which holds the
Ma'am,
least? Which holds the least?
Ma'am, nitrogen.
No, nitrogen is the major part. The least part, which all gases
Ma'am,
host?
carbon dioxide and other gases.
Okay.
dioxide and other
How
gases.
much is the ratio of noble gases?
Can you repeat the question, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the percentage of existence of noble gases in atmosphere?
Ma'am, 0.93.
Ma'am, 0.97.
Somewhat. Okay,
0.97.
near about. Fine, fine. What is the other name of noble gases and why they are called noble?
Ma'am, inert gases. The other name of
Why
noble
they are
gases.
called so?
And they are called noble gases because they do not react to anything.
Okay. Mm, Shriyans, this is your first class, I guess.
No, I had my first class, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Nishika also had a class with me, and Srilaksha, you also, I guess.
Ma'am, yesterday was my first class with you, ma'am.
Okay. Fine, fine. Because I was looking at three names. So Shriyans and Nishika already had interaction. Srilaksha, I forgot to, have a personal introduction with us yesterday. So we can give a small break and can interact with you. So can you introduce yourself, Srilaksha?
Ma'am, like I already joined the other classes, but with you it's the first time, ma'am.
Yeah, I know. So what about your likings and all, your hobbies, your free time tasks? First, I would like to request everyone to please turn on the cameras. The screen looks so boring this way. Good, good. All looking good. Your grinning faces makes the day actually. Nishika, Neha, and Adakshan. Fine. So moving ahead, um, air around us. Next, we already have seen that air occupies mass and air exerts pressure in all the directions. Okay. How do you think, means, how can you say that air is essential for us? Is air, everybody knows air is important, but this is the only important, and without air, we cannot survive. It's that the thing? Say something. How air is essential to us and why?
Ma'am, to breathe.
Only to breathe.
Ma'am,
It is to breathe for humans. What its use is for other organisms.
ma'am, air, first thing is like without air we cannot live, ma'am, which is breathing, ma'am. And ma'am, air has oxygen, ma'am, which is need for burning.
Oh,
If
okay.
air would be
Here,
not there, ma'am, if air would be not there, ma'am, we could not like burn anything, ma'am.
okay.
Ma'am,
And
and plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen.
correct, good. So we need air for breathing. Plants also need air. Air includes, see, the word air we are using commonly includes all type of gases and anything in air present in air. That is important for us. Okay. So human beings need air for breathing. Plants also air for breathing. One point, Shriyans, I guess you told me just now combustion, right? For combustion means for burning anything. But why do we need to burn anything?
Ma'am, like burn, ma'am, we can when sometimes, ma'am, we have to burn the plastics, ma'am.
Why
And we,
need to burn the plastic?
Ma'am, for
ma'am,
cooking we
like
have
waste,
to
ma'am,
burn.
waste, ma'am, or else it would be stored for a longer time, and we would die because of the toxins and all.
Shreya, I'll come to that point, but very good, Shrilaksha. We need to burn gas for cooking. That's what I was waiting to hear actually. For our survival, we need
Oh,
to
okay,
eat,
yeah,
right? We need to eat
yes,
food.
ma'am.
And we cannot eat all the items in their raw form. For most of the things needs to be cooked because they are
Yes,
so
ma'am.
hard, they cannot be chewed in that raw form. So for cooking purpose, we need to burn.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. But Shreyans, I guess
Okay.
first thing is if you have taken up the topic of plastic, burning of plastic will produce a lot of harmful gases that will uh, lead us to the respiratory problems. Okay, because it contain a very bad type of chemicals. Um, Plastics, first of all, we should try not to use plastics. And if in any case, like till now they have we have observed that if in market, suppose we go to buy milk, if the loose milk is not available, we buy the milk of suppose Mother
Okay.
Dairy, the pack. Obviously, they
Okay, ma'am.
have to pack it in
Actually,
plastic because Shreyans, wait.
yes,
Let
ma'am.
us discuss.
Yes, ma'am.
People can also
Yes, ma'am.
share your points about what my points I'm
Okay.
sharing. Okay.
Okay.
So milk pack can only be stored packed in plastic polybags. Otherwise, not a paper, not a cloth, none of these type of bags can carry milk, liquid item. Like oils, they come in packets. They also come in cans, but plastic also. So we should think how to reuse them. But I have seen that, some of the organisms has discovered that completely feeds upon plastic. So that way we can help to recycle our plastic materials. I'll just quickly collect this information and will tell you how plastic is getting recycled now.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Other uses of air, what do you think? See,
Okay.
how plants need air for breathing, but how for growing of plants, for growing of flower on plants, they need to pollinate. You know what is pollen and what is pollination?
Yes,
The
ma'am.
Yes,
transfer of
ma'am.
pollen grains
Yes, ma'am.
from one flower to another flower so that they reproduce and they grow in number because we want flora and fauna. Okay. Animals also need air. Okay. Now I'm sharing the worksheet. Oh, sorry, not worksheet, but the PPT. Now you all look at the uses of air. Hmm. Air is essential for life. Second point, air helps aeroplane, helicopters, gliders, kites, bird, insect, etc. to fly. Okay, Shreyans, please read the points. Third, you are muted, dear, you are muted.
Oh, yes, ma'am. We use air to fill objects such as tires and balloons. Moving air helps boats and ships to sail.
Hmm.
Moving air moves the blades of wind turbines, which are used to generate electricity.
Hmm.
Many plants depend on the wind for pollination and the dispersal of seeds.
Okay,
Wind helps clothes to dry.
great.
Wind also helps to keep animals and plants cool in the summer.
Hmm.
The movement of air plays an important role in the water cycle.
So I hope you might be wondering, oh yes, this is also the use of air. Oh yes, this is also the use of air. Okay.
Yes,
How we are able to wear the clothes repeatedly because we wash them and air helps them to dry. Wind helps plants cool in summer. The movement of air plays an important role in water cycle. If the wind is totally absent, if the air is totally absent, then the process or the rate of evaporation will slow down. Then it will become later and later for raining. Then in absence of rain, how the crops will be harvested, how we will get the food. So like think how the things are interconnected, and are you getting?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's how air is essential for us. Please note down the point.
Okay. Okay.
Noted?
Ma'am, just a minute. Ma'am, one more thing, ma'am, that if air was not there, ma'am, this spaceship could not go to the like space and satellite would be not there, ma'am.
Repeat your
And we
point,
would
please.
not get internet and ma'am.
Repeat. Hmm.
Ma'am, that if air was not there, ma'am, the
Hmm.
spaceship, ma'am, which uses the fire to like fly, ma'am, to the space would be not there, ma'am. So satellites would not be there in the space for
Correct.
internet, ma'am.
You can tell me once you are done with it. Done, everyone?
Last second point.
Done, ma'am.
Should I change the slide? Everyone, please confirm.
Done, ma'am.
Everyone, please confirm. Should I change the slide?
Yes, I'm done, ma'am.
Ma'am, one second.
Hmm.
Done, ma'am.
Okay. Now, few questions. Shreyans, who helps wet clothes to dry?
Ma'am, air.
Okay. How the windmills produce electricity? Not Shreyans, Nishika.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm. Who helps windmills to produce electricity?
Ma'am, the air helps the windmills to turn and produce electricity.
Okay. Nishika, suppose oxygen and carbon dioxide and no air is available to us. Now, what scenario comes to your mind?
Ma'am, I don't think we would have life because we need oxygen to breathe and live.
Okay. And if oxygen is present but carbon dioxide is absent, then
Ma'am, plants will not survive.
and if plants will not survive, are we going to get the food?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, we're not gonna get oxygen too. We're not gonna get oxygen too.
Humans will be extinct.
Yeah, humans will also extinct because yes, we have dairy products, we have non-veg, but that's not everybody feed upon these two things. Now, major uh, part of the human beings feed upon plant and plant products. Okay, so in absence of plants, humans will also extinct. So yes, no survival
And
at
if
in
everybody starts eating non-veg, ma'am, the animals will be also become extinct, ma'am.
yes, because many animals are herbivores.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, we won't get oxygen as plants are the ones who take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen.
Correct. Mention three uses of air. Okay, this is already done. Now let us see the different types of gases and individually, separately their uses in our life. Major part everybody knows this is nitrogen is composed of almost 78%. So how nitrogen is important to us? Nitrogen plays a major role in plants and animals survival because proteins that plants and animals require contain nitrogen. Protein is not an element, but protein is a type of nutrient which contains nitrogen mainly. Okay. Plants cannot use nitrogen directly to make food, but like in the form of nitrates and nitrites. In some other different forms, like oxygen, directly we take inhale, but oxygen we take through water also because H2O, single one atom of oxygen is included in the water molecule. We take oxygen in some other forms also. Okay. Lightning and some kind of bacteria change atmospheric nitrogen to other forms that plants can use. It is that form I'm telling you. One form is nitrates, other form is nitrites. This process is called nitrogen fixation, means fixing nitrogen in the form that can be easily utilized or consumed by plants. Okay, so note this part of nitrogen. You can give the heading composition of air and their uses. So first part is nitrogen. Note this part. Noted. Children done.
I'm just last point.
Okay.
Done, ma'am.
Action, Neha, Tilokya, done.
Yes, ma'am.
Nishika, Tiraksha,
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, done.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is how oxygen is important to us. All plants and animals use oxygen for respiration. The point told by you people only that combustion of fuels for cooking purpose or for any other purpose like coal, yeah, for traveling we need to have vehicle, and most of the vehicles are run upon the fuels like petrol, diesel, and what's it, CNG, etc. Now at times with advancement we have electric cars, we have electric buses, electric scooters, but still 95% of the vehicles still on the road are running on the fuel. So for their combustion and for making our journey easy and our movement from one place to another, we need combustion, and for combustion we need air. So oxygen is also necessary for decomposition, means breakdown of our food in the body. Do you think that air is required or oxygen is required for the digestion of our food or not? What is necessary for digestion purpose? Digestion of our food. Come on, am I
I
audible?
think it is.
Hmm?
It is.
Yes,
It
it is. So apart from breathing, apart from
Ma'am,
respiration,
it's kind of breaking, ma'am.
pardon?
Your voice is kind of breaking, ma'am.
Yeah, I know I have some network issues today. I'm telling that not only for respiration, but we require oxygen for breakdown of our food, for digestion of the food.
Okay, ma'am.
Noted?
Done, ma'am.
Everyone notice? Shall we
Ma'am, done noting it.
Okay. Hmm. Now, other action. Will we, the animals, be able to survive without oxygen?
No,
Other,
we cannot survive without oxygen.
why? Why? Other action, come on, please tell why we cannot survive without oxygen.
Ma'am, we cannot, we will breathe in and breathe out, right, ma'am?
Okay.
Sorry, we cannot breathe in and breathe out, right, ma'am, when there is no oxygen.
Neha, what is the importance of nitrogen for both plants and animals?
Ma'am, for plants, as nitrogen, as proteins contain nitrogen, they need nitrogen for survival.
Similar is for animals too.
Yes, ma'am.
From where do we get oxygen and nitrogen? Sri Laksha?
Ma'am, we get oxygen from where the plants respire. Ma'am.
And nitrogen?
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
Nitrogen, where we get nitrogen from?
Ma'am, we get nitrogen from
It is already present in the atmosphere. 78% of atmosphere is nitrogen only.
From the atmosphere we'll get.
Yeah. Constituent of air with a percentage is done. Next, Nishika, what is nitrogen fixation? Nishika, what is nitrogen fixation? Nishika, are you there? Oh, we cannot hear you.
Ma'am, shall I tell?
Yes, sure.
Ma'am, plants cannot use nitrogen directly, ma'am. Some bacteria, ma'am, would change the nitrogen in some other forms of nitrogen, ma'am. The process by which the bacteria changes the nitrogen, like from one form to another form, ma'am, is called nitrogen fixation, which plants can use, ma'am.
Very good. Great. And
Next
also
one is
the gas helps in combustion.
ma'am, oxygen and nitrogen.
Correct. Nitrogen also help in combustion.
Ma'am, no ma'am.
No, only oxygen. And you know which gas is found in fire extinguisher to stop
Ma'am,
the
carbon
Carbon
dioxide.
dioxide.
Carbon
why,
dioxide.
why so? And
Ma'am,
why
it
not?
has the most effect on the stopping of fire.
Ma'am, it makes the fire stop.
Actually, you know, carbon dioxide do not allow any other gas to come in contact with the oxygen directly, which is helping the substance in burning. So it forms a layer. You can say it forms a blanket like air. Carbon dioxide forms a blanket like air surrounding the fire, and it does not allow any more oxygen to pass through the object which is already burning. Okay, that's how the fire can be brought down. Next comes the water vapor, which forms about 1%. So amount of water vapor present in air is also known as humidity. When we say it's too humid, it's being very sticky now, you know, after the rainy season, in the month of almost September, August, September, it's humid uh, month. So water vapor condenses to form clouds, and plants only send out water vapor. And when plants keeps on releasing the water, we say it's feeling cold in the areas where, in the forest areas or anywhere where there are a lot number of trees. So that process is called transpiration. Releasing of excess water from the plants by their leaves and other parts is known as transpiration. Two stomata basically. Okay. Right, the uses of water vapor.
Ma'am, should we note it down?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, for water vapor, when we boil water, when we close the lid, after 5 minutes, when we open the lid, we can see that small water juice will there, ma'am. That's called as also water vapor.
Exactly. Great. And when those water vapor feels pressurized and reduce in temperature, means when it cools down, then those water vapor converts back to liquid form, which is known as condensation. Similar to the rain. Okay. Clouds in the summer season when it's too hot, the water from the water bodies keeps on evaporating and keeps on collecting in the sky in the troposphere layer only. But when a lot of water vapor has accumulated and the cloud has become heavy, means you can say just the accumulation of water vapors in a dense form is only known as a cloud. Cloud is not a tangible thing, right? We can see if you have ever been to hilly areas or in the aeroplane, no, it's visible. What is it? So when they become too heavy, the reduction in temperature, it leads to rain that condense back to the rain. Have you written water vapor?
Yes, ma'am. Done, ma'am. Water vapor done, ma'am.
Okay. Huh. Next,
Done
everyone,
with water vapor, ma'am.
done, no? Yeah. Fine. So your homework is to find out the uses of carbon dioxide uh, for plants, animals, and human beings, and if any other use. Okay. And what about the dust, smoke, fog? Difference between the fog and smog. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Any doubt in the topics we have discussed today?
Can you repeat the homework?
Huh? This is to find out the uses of carbon dioxide for plants, animals, and human beings. Means how carbon dioxide is helpful for us, is essential for us, and the difference between fog and smoke.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine,
Ma'am,
everyone?
oxygen, ma'am, plants use the oxygen which is already like there in the atmosphere, right?
Plants use oxygen. Plants use oxygen.
Ma'am, means sometimes while making food, ma'am, they need oxygen, ma'am.
Good.
Like actually, ma'am, they need carbon dioxide, but at the night time, ma'am, they need oxygen, ma'am.
Yes, yes, yes.
Again, ma'am. So,
Uh,
ma'am, I'm telling ma'am that oxygen, plants just take the oxygen, like take the carbon dioxide and release the oxygen. But oxygen means plants cannot create oxygen, right, ma'am?
yeah, but means they already have some amount of oxygen stored in them,
Okay, ma'am.
which they directly use from their surfaces. They have the stomatal pores.
Yes, ma'am.
Thus, in that pores, they store some of the oxygen which they consume in the night time.
Okay, ma'am.
And if you want to check now, you can just take warm water. Means no, don't boil water, but place
Lukewarm water.
no, not lukewarm, little hot. Okay, and put a leaf into it in the warm water. After a few seconds, you will notice bubble will start to come up. Similar like when we put a mug inside the water, then it blow bubbles upside. So that dipping of leaf and coming up of bubbles will prove that air is already stored in the leaves of plant, which they use.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Fine, children. Okay, bye bye.
Bye, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.